Howdy folks, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, by now you probably heard the big news, and that is Halo 1, or rather Halo Combat Evolved, is now on PC. Again, through Halo MCC on PC, of course. So, this game has come full circle. It started off as an original Xbox game, and it got ported to PC, and then that PC port got ported to 360, then that 360 port got ported to Xbox One, then that Xbox One port got ported all the way back to PC again. So it's gone through quite a journey. But right now, more specifically, it's actually not available on the retail version of MCC yet, as in it's not like public for everybody. It's only available through the Insider Flight. If you're a Halo Insider, invites are starting to go out now. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at what this first Insider build has in store for us and see how MCC is doing so far. So one of the first things a lot of people may be wondering about is the armor customization options for Halo CE. A lot of people speculated that the customization options would be fairly limited, and well, they were pretty much correct. Which is not surprising because, CE never really had many armor options to begin with. It was mostly just colors, and that stays the same here. So really, you could just only change your armor colors in the customization screen. You do have that nice little 3D Spartan there, but the model, I think it's still a work in progress because the detail quality is not terrific on it, and the visor is kind of like pretty bad still. But we'll see how that progresses through later flights. Now, one of the big things with CE coming to PC is that classic sound effects are now back. If you haven't noticed, for those of you who've played like OG Halo CE to Anniversary, the MCC version of CE only used the Anniversary sound effects, even when you're in classic graphics and in the classic multiplayer. It always used the Anniversary sound effects, and a lot of the OG fans did not like that, and I also prefer the game to be pretty close to OG as possible, or at least had the option for the classic sound effects. And now, they are finally back. And to use it, on the main menu there, you just need to set the music to classic instead of Anniversary. What that will do is make the music classic, as usual, because that option was always there. But now, not just the music, it will also make the sound effects classic as well. Now, I'm going to be honest. I've gotten so used to the MCC version of Combat Evolved that I've actually been conditioned to pretty much forget what the classic sound effects were like and only remember the Anniversary sound effects. So hearing a lot of the classic sound effects again, it feels so different now. I don't even remember it that way anymore. It's been so long. I haven't really played CE extensively since I was since maybe 2001 or 2002. But yeah, I mean, some of the sound effects are actually quite nostalgic now, and memories are starting to come back. But it's pretty amazing that the sound effects are really back now. That was a huge request of the community for a long time, and a lot of people have done videos on it. I've done videos covering that issue as well, and now they are finally back. And of course, on PC, you still have the ability to switch between Anniversary and Classic graphics modes, so that's really cool. Now, with Anniversary graphics on PC, so the Anniversary graphics takes a huge toll on your graphics hardware. Whereas, in Classic mode, you may notice it was running at around 200 frames per second. When I switched to Anniversary, it could drop as low as 100 FPS to 90, which is a greater than 50% drop in performance. So Anniversary is pretty it's pretty demanding on hardware. And in fact, Halo Reach runs better than Anniversary graphics. Now, for those of you who do have this flight, or who have it soon, you may notice that the frame rate in classic graphics is pretty much locked at 200 frames per second, even if you have unlimited frame rate on. Well, I'm not exactly sure why that's the case. Really, it should go higher than 200, because people with much better hardware should be able to hit better frame rates. But it seems, I don't know, it could be a limitation at the engine, or it could be a bug. We'll see what happens with that going forward, but just want to make you aware of that, just in case you get confused that why your RTX 2080 Ti is only getting 200 FPS on Halo CE Classic. But yeah, so a lot has been fixed so far. If you saw there a minute ago, I was looking up, there's a lot of blood down that elevator shaft. If you remember my video from a couple years ago, I did a video about things that are still broken in Halo CE. back when they first started fixing MCC. That was one of the things that was broken, actually. The blood splatter on the walls in the elevator shaft would actually disappear in a lot of cases when playing in anniversary graphics and switching to classic mode. But it seems like in this case that's actually been fixed. Like I didn't see any issues with that. It worked correctly this time, and I tested it twice and it looked pretty good. So definitely a lot of fixes there so far. Now some things are still missing from the campaign, such as terminals. Terminals don't work yet. That's because they need the Halo channel app, but I'm guessing, you know, like that's not everybody has that, and perhaps they're finding another way to make it work without the Halo channel app. And in this case, it doesn't work at the moment of this insider flight, but it could work later on. So what else do we get in the insider build? What else does MCC improve on in CE? Well, aside from adding mouse and keyboard support back, you also get much better FOV support. The FOV slider, you know, you could adjust it however you please, and it also supports a lot of different aspect ratios now. And of course, you know, you have the armor customizations, a little more convenient, I guess, even though it's still kind of limited, but it's still better than what it originally was on the current MCC on Xbox. And of course, you also get a much higher resolution HUD, and I'm guessing higher resolution support. I haven't tried on an 8K monitor because I don't have an 8K monitor yet, so I don't know if they actually play a native 8K. But I think that was mentioned like a Halo Waypoint blog post that higher resolution support is there. And then of course, compared to the Xbox version, even the Xbox One version, the X version, you also get unlimited frame rate support, which for anniversary you could go above 200, but in Classic, like I mentioned earlier, it's capped at 200 at the moment. And according to their blog post, they also have like input latency reduction, as well as other optimizations for PC. So that's pretty awesome, and it's definitely a good improvement, even over the Xbox One X version. And of course, I'd say it's a lot better than the original Halo PC version. So it's looking pretty good so far. There's still a few rough edges. Like, I did say the classic sound effects were back, but not all of them are back yet. Some weapons have like missing sound effects or incorrect sounds at the moment, or the sounds sound weird, while other things, you know, the sounds may be too loud or too soft. So it's, you know, like I said, it's a little rough on the edges there, but it's definitely like great work so far, and obviously I have no doubt that'll be fixed by the time it, you know, comes out to everybody else on Steam. But yeah, so there you guys have it. That is this is what Halo CE on MCC PC looks like so far on MCC Insider. At the moment, like I said, it only has a handful of campaign and multiplayer maps, but of course, you know, it's just for early testing right now. It's not meant to be a final game or anything, so do keep that in mind. I know like some of the edges are still rough, but you know, it's still early, and there's still plenty of time for that to be fixed, and I have no doubt they'll all be fixed by the time the game releases. And you know, it seems like a lot of old bugs are fixed already as well, so that's definitely a huge improvement there. But for the moment, this is what the first flight looks like, and I'll be sure to cover the progress as we go on. But yeah, so shouldn't be much longer now until Halo PC is released to everybody else on Steam and Windows Store, and then from there we'll be moving on to Halo 2 and so on. But yeah, so hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If there's anything else we need to check out, link to, or anything else you want to see from the CE Insider flight, just feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely do my best to look into it. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!